dancer, anthropologist, activist, teacher, mother, Katherine Dunham did it all in her lifetime. She combined numerous different styles of dance in order to create her own technique. As she gained popularity as a dancer, she used her fame as a platform to fight for what she believed in. By using the platform and status she gained through dance, Katherine Dunham took a stand against racism, discrimination, and injustice throughout the world. Katherine Dunham, standing up to discrimination and injustice through dance. Born on June 22, 1910 in East St. Louis, Illinois, Katherine Dunham had what many would call a rough childhood. Dunham suffered the loss of her first mother while she was only 4 years old, and her father was unable to raise 2 children on his own. Because of this, she and her brother, Albert Dunham Jr., moved in with their aunt in the south side of Chicago. Dunham and her brother didn't return to living with their father until a few years later when he remarried. As years went by, Dunham's father became abusive towards the other members of the family. Albert Jr. earned a scholarship to the University of Chicago as a means of getting out of the abusive household, and he managed to help Dunham find a spot there as well about a year later so that she too could be removed from the abuse. As an anthropology major, Dunham struggled to balance her schoolwork with the dance she had been taking since she was a child. A lecture at the University of Chicago inspired her to combine her two passions. This led to a senior thesis on the dances and social structures of the Caribbean. In order to research for a senior thesis, Dunham spent a year in the Caribbean on a grant from the Rosenwald Foundation. While she spent most of her time in Haiti, Dunham traveled to Trinidad, Martinique, Jamaica, and Cuba as well. The dances in the Caribbean are a hybrid between Caribbean dance and dances brought to the islands decades ago by African slaves. This hybrid is called Afro-Caribbean dance, and Dunham focused on studying these dances by observing them as they were used by both the normal citizen and as they were used in Haitian voodoo, which Dunham became very involved in. By using these dances combined with other, more widespread forms of dance, she created her own style of dance known as the Dunham Technique. The Dunham Technique takes the rhythm of Afro-Caribbean dance and applies it to more traditional styles of dance such as ballet and jazz. In the Dunham Technique, graceful lines and turnout through the legs and feet are used similarly to how they are used in ballet, and isolations of the torso are used as with jazz. Isolations are when one part of the body is moved in a way completely different from the rest of the body's movement. Over time, Dunham grew in fame and popularity as a dancer, but she didn't do it alone. One of her greatest achievements was starting the first all-black dance company. Together they traveled to 57 countries to perform, along with performing in movies, operas, and on Broadway. Dunham and her troupe went on to be the first black group to perform in a nightclub setting, and were the first black group to perform at a World's Fair with their performance in the 1934 Chicago Fair. As Dunham grew in fame, she used her cultural influence as a platform to stand up against discrimination and racism. While performing in Kentucky, Dunham noticed segregation between whites and blacks in a theater, and it was then that it hit her just how bad the racism in America really was. After the performance, Dunham announced that she would never again perform in a theater where there wasn't at least one black person seated in the orchestra seats previously reserved for whites. While her company was in Brazil, they were refused a first-class hotel room based on their skin tone, so Dunham filed a lawsuit for public discrimination. The lawsuit ended with a law called the Afonso Arinos Law that made it so that public discrimination resulted in a prison sentence. Additionally, those convicted of public discrimination were refused bail while serving out their sentence. This lawsuit had such a large impact on the country that the president of Brazil personally apologized to Dunham and her company after the lawsuit had been settled. Back in America, Dunham and her company also began working in Hollywood, where they would choreograph and perform in movies. During this time, Dunham refused to work on a movie if she would have to replace people in her all-black dance company with white dancers. It was a risky move during the mid-1900s, as many companies would refuse to have only black dancers in their movies. This decision could have ruined her career, but Dunham knew that she had to stand up against the discrimination.
I know you've heard about it, the occasion when I was in Lexington, Kentucky, and the audience was totally segregated. I didn't think about it because I was so busy with the company, and that has saved me so many, many times. I was just too busy to get into what I considered the small things. This turned out to be a big thing. It turned out that no black people could sit in the orchestra seats. And I, after going through a whole lot of resistance, threats, you name it, I did everything possible to be able to get on that stage and feel good about it. And I couldn't win. Therefore, I decided if I couldn't win at the beginning, I'd win at the end. I did the show. They loved it. In the end, I told them we would never come back until we could appear before people who were sitting next to each other. People of my color were sitting next to people of your color.
Ever since her time in the Caribbean, Dunham was very involved with Haiti. She had a home there and was granted citizenship in 1993. She had even been named a Grand Officer of the Haitian Légion d'honneur mérite. In 1992, Dunham held a 47-day hunger strike in an attempt to change the treatment of Haitian refugees. The refugees were trying to escape political persecution in Haiti, but as soon as they arrived in America, they were being sent back. Dunham saw this as unjust, and a hunger strike was an attempt to change it. She was prepared to die for her cause, but was eventually persuaded to end the fast as she could help Haiti much more if she was alive than if she died for her strike. Dunham received national attention for the hunger strike, but very little was changed. Throughout her life, Dunham opened 3 schools of dance and taught as an artist in residence at Southern Illinois University. In 1993, she opened the Negro Dance Group, her first official dance academy. In 1994, she opened her second school of dance, the Dunham School of Dance and Theater. The final school of dance Dunham opened was the Performing Arts Training Center, and it was the most influential of Dunham's dance academies. Here, students could learn dance, theater, African arts, and culture. What set it apart from Dunham's other dance schools were the students. The school was in East St. Louis, Illinois, which was known for being a rough area. Dunham handpicked many of the students and tried to pick troubled students to attend. She would seek out adolescents who were militants, who were involved in gangs, or who had dropped out of high school. Dunham also tried to allow everyone to attend her school, even if they could not afford it. In doing so, she had hoped to give them a chance to focus their energy more positively and to find a way to turn their lives around for the better. Her school permanently impacted this part of Illinois, and her work there helped many students to remove themselves from the rough and often dangerous area to go on and succeed elsewhere. Dunham's teaching also attracted many famous actors such as James Dean, a white actor known for rebelling against societal norms. To have a white actor such as himself taking dance classes from a black woman was unheard of at the time. Throughout much of her career, Dunham had John Pratt by her side. After meeting while they were both working at the Federal Theater in Chicago, he became the head stage and costume designer for Dunham's shows. Despite the fact that he was white and she was black, Pratt also became Dunham's husband when they got married in 1941. Together they adopted Marie-Christine Dunham Pratt from a French orphanage in 1949. Throughout Marie-Christine's childhood, the family remained in Illinois. Pratt and Dunham were married until Pratt's death in 1989. Katherine Dunham was a revolutionary dancer, anthropologist, and activist. Dunham's work took a stand against discrimination and injustice everywhere she went, and her influence extends across the world, from her law in Brazil to all of her invaluable work in America. Her work is especially prominent in Illinois, where her school allowed students to remove themselves from a dangerous area. For her work, Dunham won countless awards and honorary doctorates. On May 21, 2006, she passed away at age 96. Overall, Katherine Dunham was an amazing woman who wasn't afraid to stand up for what she believed in.
She had a dream, and she saw her dream through. She overcame